Hi guys, today we're going to be talking about CrossFit for high school students. This is our lifestyle activity. Let's get started. So the history of CrossFit. CrossFit is a company that patented the name, but the CrossFit methodology is everything included from cardiovascular endurance, stamina, strength, power, speed, flexibility, agility, accuracy, balance, and coordination. So another term for CrossFit would be functional fitness is what they call it, but the actual name of CrossFit is a patented company name. It was founded in 2000 by Coach Greg Glassman, who was a teenage gymnast who wanted to build strength and be able to transfer his athleticism into everyday life. And so he founded the CrossFit methodology. The benefits of CrossFit. Psychomotor, the physical domain. To perform a squat and a burpee 5 times each with proper form and standard. So the psychomotor is the physical portion of this. So you're going to be getting that full squat, that full depth, and using burpees in correlation with that. And that way you're going to be using your cardiovascular endurance, strength, all your balance, your coordination, athleticism, everything. The mental domain of it, the cognitive domain. Making sure the standard is met and becoming focused with their own bodies. So in CrossFit and any sort of functional fitness, you're always preaching, in any sort of physical domain at all, you're preaching that form is going to trump speed or repetitions any day. So you want to make sure your body is completely aware of the standards in which you're performing them. So make sure you're focused on your own body and being able to know your own limits, and that's the cognitive domain. The affective domain, explaining how this is beneficial for the body to create positivity to want to repeat these movements. I think CrossFit is beneficial for high school students for a lifestyle activity, not only because is it competitive and they can do it any day, but these movements are performed every day. You're always going to be squatting, bending over, and these are certain movements that can transfer into everyday life. That's one of the reasons why I picked CrossFit as my lifestyle activity. So we got a couple CrossFit skills here for our lesson plan. So this is for high school students, probably around the 10th grade region. There is what I was focusing on. So you want to keep the skills. You know, a lot of people, this is going to be a lifestyle activity, so you want to keep the skills pretty basic. So I want to go with foundational movements of CrossFit. So today we're going with the back squat. So we're going to place the bar on our upper back and shoulders there. We're going to grip the bar with both arms, squat the bar down while remaining to keep heels on the floor. That's one of our main cues, is heels on the floor. We're going to sit back until below or at parallel with our knees. We're going to keep our knees driving out, and then we're going to slowly come up. That there is quoted under muscle strength and lower body exercises in the text. There wasn't much on, there was CrossFit as a whole that they talked about in the text, so a couple of this was outside resources that I have cited. Next is our movement, the burpee. So we have, from a standing position, we're going to bend our knees and place our palms on the floor. Once our palms are on the floor, we're going to spring our legs back into a plank position and do a push-up. Then stand up and jump. We're going to have a demonstration next on these movements. So this is the squat and burpee. Here's just a basic 45-pound bar. Here you can see me getting the bar on my shoulders there, right on my upper back. I'm keeping my eyes straight forward, my knees and legs are at my shoulder width apart. I'm driving my butt back. I'm staying on my heels. Right as I'm at that parallel or below parallel, I'm going to come right back now. I'm using all my energy from my hips, my glutes, everything to drive my body back up. I'm trying to keep that bar path as straight as possible. Now here's one in fast motion. Next, we have the burpee. From a standing position, I'm springing my hands down to the floor. Once I have my palms planted, I'm swinging my feet back into a push-up position. This push-up position, going back up back into that motion where I'm getting into that squat. So I'm going to spring my legs up using the energy right here. You can see my feet are still shoulder width apart. I'm getting back into kind of a half squat, and then I'm jumping up top. So here is one in fast motion now. So that's real life speed right there. Next, we have the wheelbarrow relay and leapfrog. These are some cooperative games that we can include in the class to keep things functional and to have a game and everyone warmed up, whether it's in a class or whatever. So first we have the wheelbarrow relay. So in a wheelbarrow position, you're going to have a partner that holds the feet, and then the other partner is going to be walking on their hands. And then you're just going to go get to an end point and have the same partner repeat that. So that's a wheelbarrow relay. Next, we have leapfrog. So our leapfrog is going to be one student is going to be bent over with their hands on their knees to make sure they keep their back tight. And then the next student will jump over the back of that student, and you're going to keep that as like a relay. You can do that for distance, you can do that for repetitions, and you can alternate with partners. So these are some good cooperative games that we can include. Now we got some safety tips. So since there's really no rules in CrossFit, there's ways that you have to squat. You have to squat to a certain depth and yada yada. Everything for for the body. So we have the body bar squat. We're going to maintain lumbar curve, and then we're going to keep heels on the floor. There we go again with a couple of those cues. These are not only cues to keep you tight and everything, but they're safety tips. So for the burpee, we want to control into the push-up position on the way into it. You don't want to just spring down because you don't want to cause injury to any of the students. You want to make sure those are controlled movements. And then you want to make sure that you're controlled rather than just getting fast movements. And it's easy to get caught up in the competition. So with faith in CrossFit workouts are usually for time or for repetitions. With God's faith that's instilled in us and in these workouts, it is important to give our all. Matthew 19:26 states, Jesus looked at them and said, "With man this is possible, but with God all things are possible." So these workouts can get grueling, but I feel like our faith can incorporate a lot into CrossFit because our faith is allowing all individuals to give their all during these workouts and to prove this verse. So it's making sure we're pushing our body to full limits. And just some CrossFit stuff here that I want to point out. It's great for adaptation. Anyone with, you can see here, disabilities. You can see anyone who, we have that gentleman there who has a prosthetic leg, and he's able to perform a power clean. So these are all movements that are adaptive. Look here, we have kids, and we have regular everyday life. Any sort of person that can do CrossFit. That's what I think is the greatest thing about CrossFit. So we have some key strategies. We're going to maintain proper form. We're going to give it our all, and we're going to make sure that these activities are fun. If you're not enjoying it, change it up. Here's a couple of my resources I utilized, the text, and then an article, Origins of CrossFit, where I got the history of CrossFit. Well, thank you very much for listening to my presentation.